If I'm not tortured, how are you ever going to relate? Now, I didn't make up that. That is a line from a song from one of my favorite bands when I was in college called The Format, who went on to become known as Fun with a lowercase f, who went on to go solo. I think his name is pronounced Nate Roos. So anyway, that guy, back in the early 2000s, he had a band that made 2 albums. On his first album, there was a song called Career Day. And in that, he says, if I'm not tortured, how are you ever going to relate? And that's what I want to address in this video. There was a theme that went on really last week in which people were watching my videos and they were saying, you seem defensive all of a sudden. You seem like you have to defend and prove that you're not truly obsessed with your hair loss. This doesn't seem like this is really you. And at the same time, I also was talking about the struggle I have in making sure that my video content is both real and relevant. And sometimes by default, it's going to be more than one or the other. As a YouTuber who has over 4,000 subscribers, I have to make sure that I create content, not simply what I want to do, but what you're going to actually watch and care about. So going back to the opening line, if I'm not tortured, how are you ever going to relate, right? So what good is this channel to see a 37-year-old guy who's happily married, has 2 kids, and still has most of his hair for a 37-year-old guy, even in the worst light as it's growing out from a buzz cut? But what good would this channel be if there wasn't some sort of struggle? That's why it's a very convenient choice for me to grow out a buzz cut, because you get to see me at my worst. You get to see me power through this, and you get to see me be a dynamic character. But the thing is, you need to see me be tortured in some way. You need to see that there is a struggle, in other words, because you're watching this channel. You found this channel not because you were already happy and feeling complete. You found this channel and began watching the channel and subscribing to the channel because you are not where I'm at with this whole hair loss thing. And I think the best analogy I can even say right now is this. This is how I think of it as the host of this channel. I think of it as most of you who are watching my videos, it's like you're getting a college degree in psychologically overcoming hair loss. That's your major. You're getting a 4-year college degree in psychologically overcoming hair loss. But I am your professor. And let's say, even if I'm a young professor, let's say that I am working on getting my master's degree right now. And so that by teaching you hair loss psychology, it helps me further along my journey in getting a master's. Okay? That's a good analogy, right? But see, here's the thing. My master's degree that I'm working on is not about hair loss psychology. Instead, it's about a communicator psychologically understanding his audience and where they're coming from. I recognize that you need to see me as someone who's going through some kind of struggle. And I'm not interested in deceiving you and making you think that I'm worried about hair loss. I think maybe other YouTubers in my situation might take advantage of that and twist the angle and act like they're actually worried about it. But that's not true. Instead, I feel it's important that I'm very honest about it, that I'm actually past that point in my life. And I keep reminding everyone, I make these videos to help you. I make them to make money. And I also make these videos because I enjoy it, of course. But ultimately, mainly it's about the money, number one, and then number two, it's about helping people. So think of it this way. I'm going through my own struggle, my own journey. It's just not the same as yours, and I accept that. And if I were truly going through the same struggle as you, I don't think I'd be as good at what I do. I don't think I would have the audience that I have and be able to speak with the confidence I can speak with if I was in the same place as people who were truly worried about hair loss. You're more concerned about getting over your hair loss and dealing with it. That's your concern. That's your journey. My journey, on my master's level that I'm working on, is being able to understand an audience and knowing that they need to see some kind of struggle from their protagonist. They want to make sure that I can live up to the words that I speak. So what you're going to always notice about my channel is there's always going to be some kind of journey going on. It's going to be generically themed in hair loss, but it's not actually about me getting over hair loss. And I think it's important that I make this video to explain why last week I seemed so defensive about hair loss. I think because for me, my struggle, my true journey was realizing that I was being misunderstood by people who are watching me. And it made me feel as a communicator that I wasn't doing a good enough job of explaining that. And I think now in this video, I've done a much better job. We're on different journeys. You're getting a 4-year college degree in hair loss psychology, while I teach you and therefore earn my master's degree in psychologically reducing people and understanding them better for the sake of entertainment and communication. That's what's actually going on. And so now that I've got that resolved, you probably won't hear me talk as much about trying to, convince anyone that I'm not obsessed with hair loss. Actually, I still have one more video in that series that I want to do. But talk about a video that is more real than relevant. This is one of those. This is where you get to see me behind the scenes, right? This is a real video more so than it is relevant. In other words, not a lot of people will watch this video, not a lot of people will like it. But for the hardcore supporters and fans of my channel, you can appreciate what I'm conveying in this. You're working on a 4-year degree, symbolically of course, and I'm working on a master's, but they're on 2 different things.